I was just asking, you were talking about Luke Cage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, it's really, if there's one person, that you'd say was the real creator of Luke Cage more than anybody, it was Stan, because he decided that, we should have an African American character. This was after Shaft hit. He hadn't been able to quite do things with Black Panther for reasons we all know, and the Falcon was Captain America's partner, but he wasn't really somehow quite right for a book of his own. So he decided to make up somebody new. So he got in Archie Goodwin and me, and we just, the three of us, kicked around ideas, and each of us contributed a lot. I contributed things like the name Cage, the fact that the fact that he was bulletproof, but that bullets would raise welts and things. It wasn't like he's Superman, but it was based on Philip Wiley's Gladiator, which is a book that did influence Superman. That was where I got it from. The name Hero for Hire, because Stan wanted him to be different. He wanted him to try to be making money out of being a superhero, and everything. And so I had done an Avengers story called Heroes for Hire a few months before. So I said, how about Hero for Hire? And so that became the original title. Later, we decided, and that was me as much as anything, to change it to Power Man and use the old name of that Power Man character. Other things, but we gave it to Archie, who did all the heavy lifting on it. John Romita designed the costume, and of course George Tuska was the first artist, and we got Billy Graham in there to ink it, because we felt the blacks would look much more realistic if Billy wrote it, and then we knew Billy would eventually probably draw the strip too, which he did. So it was a mutual thing between about 4 or 5 people, actually. It was sort of a thing created by a committee, but each of us was really working at it, and but Stan was the ringmaster. He was the person who would say, I like this idea, I don't like that idea. He was the guy in charge of it all.
He'd help curate the idea, essentially.
Yeah, and he started it. I mean, he's the one that wanted that kind of character in the first place.
Now, when you see these characters,
he was actually kind of a talented man.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you see these characters that you work on come to life in movies and TV shows, can you talk a little bit about that and how it makes you feel?
Yeah, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. It was really, I liked them all. John Mike Coulter was very good as Luke Cage, and I met Mike. He came to Columbia, South Carolina, because actually the funny thing is,
tell me.
Mike Coulter grew up in the town near which I now live, St. Matthews, South Carolina, which is really weird.
Oh, what a small world!
What a small world. So then we end up on the stage together in the state. The population of that town is about 2,000.
Yeah, small town, not just small world, small town.
And then, so we did a thing on, in Columbia later on, and and then of course, so that was great. He was good, and
Iron Fist.
And Iron Fist, the Iron Fist. I think the series wasn't as good in some ways as some of the other series, but I was very happy with the way, actually, what was the name of the guy who played Iron Fist? But anyway, I thought he was quite good. I think that what was wrong with the series was not him. Maybe he wasn't a guy who kung fu expert, but he was a good actor, and I thought he brought the right kind of presence to Iron Fist. I've been happy with most of them. Some of them, obviously Valkyrie's more different than some. But on the other hand, there have been 3 or 4 different Valkyries between me and Englehart, so I don't know what to choose. And I've been very happy to see and particularly happy with the way, even though they didn't do as much with him in the movies as I wished, with the Vision, with the way the Vision was portrayed. I thought they caught the spirit, and by they meaning mostly Josh Whedon, caught the spirit of the Vision as a character who's he's a strong guy, but he's not a muscle man. He has a whole different appearance, and he's less physically oriented than the rest, and more cerebral and more distant. In the relatively few scenes the Vision has, I thought he really caught the spirit of what I was always trying to do and what other people tried to do later with the Vision.
And what's ironic is that the Defenders, him and Stan came up with the Defenders team, but the current Defenders now have his characters actually in it now,